Here are some facts worth knowing. Please hit the like button and leave a comment, it helps a lot, thank you. The largest Japanese population outside of Japan stands at 1.6 million people who live in Brazil. IKEA is an acronym that stands for Ingvar Kamprad Elmträd Gunnerid, which is the founder's name, the farm where he grew up, and his hometown. In 2009, Stephen Hawking held a reception for time travelers but didn't publicize it until after. This way, only those who could time travel would be able to attend. Nobody else attended. Violin bows are commonly made from horsehair. There are less than 30 ships in the Royal Canadian Navy, which are less than most third-world countries. Larry the Cable Guy's real name is Daniel Lawrence Whitney. His notable southern accent is fake. He was born and raised in the Midwest, not the South. The youngest pope in history was Pope Benedict IX, who was 11 years old at the time of the election. He is also the only person to have been the pope more than once. There were only 9 developers on the team for GoldenEye 007 for Nintendo 64. Medieval chastity belts are a myth. A great majority of examples now existing were made in the 18th and 19th centuries as jokes. Nowadays, millionaires with just $1 million aren't considered wealthy anymore by most Americans. Now, the typical American sees at least $2.4 million as wealthy. Hanna-Barbera pitched the Flintstones to networks for 8 weeks before it was finally picked up. It became the first ever animated show to air during prime time. There is an underwater version of rugby, unsurprisingly called underwater rugby. Costa Coffee employs Gennaro Policia as a coffee taster, who has had his tongue insured for £10 million since 2009. Johnny Cash took only 3 voice lessons before his teacher advised him to stop taking lessons and to never deviate from his natural voice. There is an island called Just Enough Room, where there's just enough room for a tree and a house. People who post their fitness routine on Facebook are more likely to have psychological problems. In World War II, Germany tried to collapse the British economy by dropping millions of counterfeit bills over London. The human eye is so sensitive that if the earth were flat and it was a dark night, a candle's flame could be seen from 30 miles away. When Space Invaders was created, Tomohiro Nishikado left in the lag caused by more invaders on the screen in order to create greater difficulty in the games. The color red doesn't really make bulls angry, they are colorblind. There is a company that sells mirrors that make people look 10 pounds thinner. Overall, the mirrors have contributed to 54% of total sales for retailers that use them. There's no period in Dr. Pepper. It was removed because the old logo font made it look like D. Pepper. Standing around burns calories. On average, a 150-pound person burns 114 calories per hour while standing doing nothing. Although GPS is free for the world to use, it costs $2 million per day to operate. The money comes from American tax revenue. There is a punctuation mark used to signify irony or sarcasm that looks like a backward question mark. Researchers have found that flossing your teeth can help your memory. Flossing prevents gum disease, which prevents stiff blood vessels, which cause memory issues. A cluster of bananas is called a hand. Along that theme, a single banana is called a finger. Lettuce is a member of the sunflower family. 65% of autistic kids are left-handed, and only 10% of people, in general, are left-handed. In 2007, Scotland spent £125,000 devising a new national slogan. The winning entry was, "Welcome to Scotland." Until 2016, the Happy Birthday song was not for public use. Meaning that prior to 2016, the song was copyrighted, and you had to pay a license to use it. When mice live in the wild, they typically only live for about 6 months. Red Solo cups are a common souvenir to bring back from the United States. The novelty comes from the cups being used in many party scenes in movies. Swedish meatballs originated from a recipe King Charles XII brought back from Turkey in the early 1800s. Those cute furry bits inside a cat's ear are called ear furnishings. They ensure that dirt doesn't go inside and also helps them to hear well. Scientists discovered sharks living in an active underwater volcano. Divers cannot investigate because they would get burns from the acidity and heat. The Hobbit has been published in 2 editions. In the first edition, Gollum willingly bet on his ring in the riddle game. For nearly 60 years, Texas didn't have an official state flag between 1879 and 1933. During that time, the Lone Star flag was active, but the unofficial flag. A wildlife technician, Richard Thomas, took the famous tongue twister, "How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?" and calculated a rough estimate of what the answer would actually be. It came out to be around 700 pounds. St. Lucia is the only country in the world named after a woman. China is spending $3 billion to build panda-shaped solar farms in order to get more young people interested in renewable energy. Mercury and Venus are the only 2 planets in our solar system that do not have any moons. The average American child is given $3.70 per tooth that falls out. To properly write adjectives in order, you would list them by amount, value, size, temperature, age, shape, color, origin, and material. There are times when Pluto is closer to the Sun than Neptune. One of these timelines was from 1979 to 1999. There is a town in Nebraska called Monowai with a population of 1. The only resident is a woman who is the mayor, bartender, and librarian. The Ethiopian calendar is 7.5 years behind the Gregorian calendar due to the fact that it has 13 months. In 1994, the company that had a patent on GIFs tried to charge a fee for using GFS. The PNG was invented as an alternative, and the company backed down. The world's first motel is in San Luis Obispo, which was built in 1925. When opened, it cost $1.25 for a 2-room bungalow with a kitchen and a private adjoining garage. Scotland was one of the few countries able to hold off being conquered by the Romans in the 1st century AD. I Will Always Love You was originally written and recorded in 1973 by Dolly Parton. It was written as a farewell to her mentor of 7 years. Opposites attract is a common myth. People are actually attracted to people who look like family members or those with a similar personality type. Llamas can be used as guards against coyote attacks on sheep herds. Studies have proven that just one guard llama is an effective protector and can even kill the attacking coyotes. The unique smell of rain actually comes from plant oils, bacteria, and ozone. Vanilla flavoring is sometimes made from something called castoreum, a scented oil which is naturally secreted by beavers' butts. If you heat up a magnet, it will lose its magnetism. During World War II, a US naval destroyer won a battle against a Japanese submarine by throwing potatoes at them. The Japanese thought they were grenades. The Marshall Mathers Foundation for At-Risk and Disadvantaged Youth was founded by Eminem. Since 1955, 50% of the population of Niger is consistently under 16 years old. The total current population is 21,600,000. The author of Mary Had a Little Lamb, Sarah Josepha Hale, is most responsible for the creation of Thanksgiving being a national holiday. The most expensive virtual object is Club Neverty in the Entropia universe, which is worth $635,000. It was originally bought at $10,000. Cruise ships have morgues that can store up to 10 bodies at once. The average amount of people that die on cruise ships per year is 200. Birds are the closest living relatives of crocodilians, as well as the descendants of extinct dinosaurs with feathers. This makes them the only surviving dinosaurs. Small as they may be, ladybugs have a unique smell that humans are incredibly sensitive to. Queen Elizabeth II had a personal net worth of $425 million. That includes the $65 million Sandringham House and $140 million Balmoral Castle. Although there is currently no drug proven to make someone tell the truth, some countries like Russia, Canada, and India use truth serums. Only primates, humans, and possums have opposable thumbs. Out of these, the opossum is the only one with no thumbnail. One of the World Trade Centers was built to be 1,776 feet tall on purpose to reference the year the Declaration of Independence was signed. The word kimono literally means a thing to wear. Ki is wear, and mono is thing. There is a statue of Tesla in Silicon Valley that radiates free Wi-Fi. It was done as an homage to his vision for wireless communication. It snows metal on planet Venus. There are two types that have been found, galena and bismuthinite. Tic Tacs got their name from the sound they make when they are tossed around in their container. In order to protest the high tariffs enforced by a UK censorship board, a filmmaker sent in a 10-hour movie of white paint drying. They had to watch the entire film. 50% of apartments in Los Angeles don't come with a fridge. This is legal, as fridges are considered an amenity, and therefore, landlords are not required to provide one. Norway has a 25-year statute of limitation on murder. This means if the murder happened more than 25 years ago, they cannot be charged. Several of the facts on Snapple caps have been found to be outdated, incorrect, or exaggerated. Only official members of federally accepted Native American tribes may legally possess or collect eagle feathers. If a normal citizen has one, it is illegal. By the time they have been retired for 2 years, 78% of former NFL players have gone bankrupt or are under financial stress because of joblessness or divorce. 500 seeds of 5 different types of seeds were taken into orbit around the moon and later planted around the US as well as a few countries. They were called moon trees. The popular LMFAO group that created the viral hit, Party Rock Anthem, is made up of an uncle-nephew duo. I hope you found these facts interesting. Please like and subscribe for more.